Welcome back. Today we are going to replace the rear brake pads on this BMW R1250GS. These videos are sponsored by the online part store at Packmoto Tours and Rentals. So come check us out at packmototours.com/store. Here you can find maintenance kits, both 6,000 and 12,000 mile maintenance kits for your R1250 motorcycle and your water-cooled R1200 motorcycle. For example, here is a 12K maintenance kit for an R1250 BMW. So with it you get 4 quarts of oil, an oil filter, air filter, spark plugs, and final drive fluid, and the crush rings and O-rings to complete the project. Hey, if you like these videos, you learn something from these videos, I would appreciate it if you'd subscribe right down here. Give us a comment, tell us what you think. I would appreciate that. Today we are replacing the rear brake pads on this 2020 R1250GS. It's the exact same process for an R1250 RT. Today we're going to use these EBC FA209/2HH centered brake pads for this project. It's a simple project. You'll save yourself hundreds of dollars by doing this project yourself. You ready to jump in? Let's go do it. On the GS, we'll start by removing this mud flap. This is literally the only difference between doing this on a GS or an RT. The RT, you don't have this mud flap. Remove these 3 T30 screws and we are ready to get started. Okay, now we're going to remove the brake caliper by removing these 2 T40 screws. I like to give the brake caliper a little twist to separate the brake pad so it makes it a little easier to get on. With a pair of needle nose pliers, I will remove these 2 pins. Now we can pull out this pin, which will release these 2 brake pads. As you can see they're on this pin right here. I can take this piece right here that's putting a little pressure, so I'll peel this back a little bit and pull this pin out, and you can see that both brake pads just slide right out. You can see these brake pads are definitely in need of replacement. Again, I'm using these EBC brakes. These are FA209/2HH centered brakes. These are the brakes that are specified for this motorcycle. So you can see that those old pads are completely gone. Definitely time for a replacement. If you didn't create enough space for these new brake pads, which I don't think I did, we need to push back these 2 pistons here so that we'll be able to get the new brake pads, which are significantly bigger than the ones that were completely used. Okay, we've got those both pressed back. If you get a look, there's a little notch that this fits into right there, and the same on the other side. So we've got both brake pads in. We can press down on this to create a little space, slide our pin back in. There it is all the way through. Press these back in. You can see the other one now. And there we go. I've got these pads separated apart, and we can slide it back on. It is a little bit of a tight fit, so you do have to wiggle it around a little bit just to find that right spacing to get the caliper back on. These get torqued at 24 Newton meters. I do like to mark these with a little marking paint just so I can see with a quick glance if any of my key bolts have started to back out. If you're on an RT, you're already done. For this GS, we will put back on this mud flap. I like to use a little thread locker. I would not want to lose this. I don't know the right torque setting for these, but I'm going to torque it to 20 Newton meters. So remember, we separated out those brake pads, so before you ride the motorcycle, make sure you press the brake pedal several times to bring those back in. You don't want to take off down the street and have no rear brake. So several presses until you feel a good firm brake, and then you're good to go. All right, these videos are sponsored by Pack Moto Tours, so come check us out at packmototours.com. If you like these videos, you learn something, subscribe right down here. Feel free to drop a comment or give me a thumbs up, would appreciate that. Thanks again, come back and watch us again.